Hi, how is everyone doing? How on a scale 1 to 10? How are you? Are you a 1 and like, oh my gosh, Karen? Or are you a 5 like, I just can't, and I'm making it, I'm trying, I'm pushing through, but it is hard. Or 10, like, yeah, I began with a horrible week, but guess what? The way my perception is pivoting, and you know what? This is the day the Lord has made, and I get to rejoice and be glad in it. So, wherever you are at, self awareness is the key, y'all. Self awareness is the key. So if this is your first time visiting my platform, my page, thank you. Thank you for joining. If you are a return viewer, thank you once again for taking the time out for just sharing your, spending your time with me as I get ready and I empower as I do my makeup. So um, my platform is Empowering Through Makeup. I love makeup and I love to empower those. Why? Because I understand what it feels like to suffer in silence. I am a warrior of sexual assault. I'm a warrior of domestic violence, and I'm also a warrior of child molestation. And I did not tell anyone until about 3 years ago when I wrote my book, The Locked Box. It is being turned, I rewrote it. It is going to be a cinema audiobook, and I am changing the verbiage to sexual assault. So got a little thing. Today we're going to talk about trauma. Rejection trauma. Yes, we're going to talk about rejection trauma. You're going to get ready with me because I am going live on my platform later on today and on Sexual Assault Safe Space. And we are going to talk about rejection trauma. I also have another page on Instagram, Karen Danzey, where I am the trauma specialist. So I talk about trauma, I empower those. It's just sometime I hop on live, sometime I just video, just going through my day to day. It's not a vlog, just words of encouragement, something that I love to do. Why? Because no one encouraged me. So, and I felt rejected by society, rejected by the church, rejected by a lot of things. And so, so today we're just going to talk about rejection as I get ready. But first, I am going to say a prayer. I am going to read my daily devotional, and I'm going to give an affirmation later on. So let's get started. Lord, I thank you. Thank you. This is the day that you has made, and I get to rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, I just thank you for just positioning me to just tell my story, to empower others through as I do makeup. Lord, I just thank you for what you're doing in other people's lives, Lord. Lord, if anyone feel alone and feel afraid and feel like they're not worthy, Lord, give me the words to encourage them. Give me the words to make a difference, Lord, in someone's life, in one person's life, Lord. Lord, this is your will and not my will. You give me the words that I need to say. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. So, if I move away from the camera, please, I do apologize, but I have some notes and I have a daily devotional that I like to read through. So, here we go. And today's devotional that I'm reading, it says, Ordered Steps. And it says, I will instruct you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. And that's from Psalms 32:8, the NIV version. If you have ever taken the hand of a toddler, you'll know that they are relying on you for their balance. If they stumble, you can easily steady them. This simple act of holding a hand means that you and the child have confidence that they won't fall flat on their face. In the same way, when we commit our way to God, we are essentially placing our hands in His delight in the fact that we are walking with him. Even in times when we stumble, he will steady our paths and give us the confidence to keep walking. Lord, I have stumbled, and I am sometimes aware of my walk with you. Give me confidence of your delight in my commitment, even though it can be shaky. I accept your hand and continue to walk, trusting you to keep me from falling. Yes, have we had some of those days where we just feel like we're about to stumble? I know me, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I'm trying to be perfect. But like I always said, God does not want perfection. He will accept you as you are. So let's get ready with me. We're going to talk about rejection trauma. I have my notes here, and I am reading from the CPTSD Foundation.org, and it stands for complex post-traumatic stress disorder. That's complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and it is a more complex version of PTSD. And I remember when I first started, when I left an abusive relationship and I came here to where I'm living, I started seeing a therapist. And because of my trauma that I experienced, I had complex PTSD, or they call it CPTSD. And man, let me tell you, I was such a wreck. I was such in fear. The impact of all the trauma that I went through, from being sexually assaulted, from being gang raped, from being in abusive relationships, child molestation. And it's like, as my therapist, at the time, he said what it is like your brain being hit back and forth. I think of the commercial, this is an egg, and then they have the frying pan. This is the frying pan. And when they fry the egg, I've been through so much trauma that it affects my perception. It affects the way I view things. One of the impacts was isolation. I had social anxiety, y'all. I was afraid to drive. I was afraid to go into the grocery store, the fear of being around people, so that impacted me. And through God's grace, mercy, prayer, going through therapy, I was like, okay, I am going to get through this. So I'm aware that, what, if I don't continue to heal, if I don't continue to acknowledge my trauma, that, I can have a setback, So that's another reason why that I do what I do. I call myself the trauma specialist, because I just, my perception, I've dealt with my trauma through therapy and just talking about it. To break the stigma of something means you need to talk about it. So I'm just gonna go over some notes, and I'll put the website that I have got the information for them, because I just don't want to tell you from my perspective. I'll use me for an example, but I want to give you facts. I want to give you facts, but I also will tell you from my perspective. So it says rejection trauma occurs in childhood, as it is an offset of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It said rejection trauma occurs in childhood and is an offshoot of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So we're talking about rejection trauma, but it is an offshoot of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And guess what, y'all? I be tongue-tied. I used to stutter, and it's okay. It is okay for me to stutter, because you know what? As I do this over and over again, you know what? I'm gonna get better, so I'm not beating myself up. I am not going to beat myself up because some words I cannot pronounce correctly, because it's okay. It's okay. So, yes, I thank God that I can speak. I'm always being grateful. I always look at things from a positive perspective and not a negative perspective. So as it says, rejection trauma leaves us feeling like we do not belong anywhere. And we tend to behave in ways that causes us to be rejected by those we know in the present. So what I get from this is, because of our rejection trauma, we feel that we don't belong, that we're not good enough for those that we're around. Like, we're not good enough. That is one of the impacts of rejection trauma. We feel rejected because of what happened to us. I'm here to tell you today that you belong where you belong, that it is okay. Like, God has created you to be uniquely and powerful and important, and you belong where you belong. You're no longer rejected. A lot of times we will reject ourselves. I know I rejected myself, and sometimes I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm not good enough to be in this room. And I'm like, okay, Karen, that's from your rejection trauma. I need you to stop it. I had to stop thinking that I did not belong in a room of powerful people, people who thought of themselves as motivators, as, successful people. I belong there. Why? Because I'm successful, and can't nobody tell me I'm not. And that's the attitude that I want you guys to have. If you're watching right now, and if you feel that you do not belong in a room full of successful people, I need you to stop telling yourself that. That's just part of you feeling rejected trauma. So we're going to stop that, okay? So the next one is, and so let's get some tips. So how are we going to stop it? I'm going to give you some tips, y'all. So the tips that I have for today, tips to start healing from rejection trauma. First, we're going to acknowledge and recognize the trauma. Yes, we are going to acknowledge and recognize the trauma. And how do we do that? Okay, we're going to stop minimizing your trauma by pretending it did not happen. This leads to feeling of guilt, self-blame. I remember when I was sexually assaulted, I was gang raped. I went to work. 3 hours, couple hours after it happened, because I was trying to minimize what had happened to me. And that is part of what happens, the impact of being sexually assaulted. You want to continue like nothing has happened, when actually I was gang raped, but I minimized what happened to me. So that was part of my rejection trauma. So and so I felt guilty. I self-blame. I was like, oh my gosh, if I shouldn't have, what did I do to cause this? Nothing. I did not cause them anything. I did nothing wrong. And sexual assault is about someone stealing your power away without your consent through a sexual act. That's what sexual assault is. So part of a sexual assault, molestation, is feeling rejected, rejection trauma. So we're going to acknowledge it, okay? We're going to learn to let go and accept what happened. Yes, we're going to learn to let go and to accept it, accept what happened. Accepting what happened does not mean you agree. Moreover, it means deciding to deal with it and not allowing your life to be ruled by your past any longer. So with that being said, I accepted that I am a warrior of sexual assault. I was gang raped. I do not agree because it was not my fault. However, I am going to acknowledge it. Why? Because I have decided to deal with it. I was not going to allow or be defined by what my rapist did to me. I am not going to let it suffocate me any longer. I am not going to let it stifle with me. As a matter of fact, I am using this to empower others. This is an example of empowering others. Another way I empower others, me going on live on my platform, Sexual Assault Safe Space, where I talk to others. I give people advice. I let them know that it's okay. You know, they have resources. You know, I let them know that guess what? Guess what? I feel you. I'm here with you. Another thing is me on my platform, Karen Danzey on Instagram. I started a series called Let's Talk About Trauma. Let's talk about trauma in order to break the stigma of trauma. We need to talk about it, okay? So we're going to acknowledge and recognize the trauma. Then we're going to learn to let it go and to accept what happened. And remember, that does not mean that we agree what happened to us. We're going to acknowledge it so we can deal with it in order for it does not stifle us. You know, it does not stop us from living our best versions of ourselves. Okay, and then we're gonna end self-criticism. Oh my goodness, I remember I would self-sabotage myself. That's self-criticism. And when I put it says you're not gonna focus on your shortcoming and punish yourself consistently. You're gonna watch your words because your tongue can breathe life or death into you or your situation. What I mean about this, self-sabotaging. You're going to stop. If you're doing this, you're going to stop saying, guess what? I'm a victim. Oh my gosh, I can't live. I feel sorry for myself. Woe is me. Nope. No. That's self-criticism. We're going to say, guess what? Yeah, this happened to me. We're going to acknowledge our trauma. And guess what? I'm not defined by what happened to me, what they did to me. I am a warrior of this or a warrior of that. For me, I'm a warrior of sexual assault, and I wear it proud. I am not defined by what happened to me, by my trauma, you know? So, we're going to stop self-sabotaging ourselves. If you're watching this and you want to start a YouTube channel of doing makeup, get on there, just start doing it. That's what I did, and consistently do it. And when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyways. I did not feel like getting on here, but guess what? I was like, nope, I am going to set an example. I am a trailblazer, and I can do this, you know, and I give God the glory for giving me that mindset, because guess what? I used to be that victim mentality. I used to feel like, oh my goodness, I used to be stuck where I would minimize what happened to me, and I would get on the internet and I would just watch. I'll be, you know, another reason why I started this channel, because I know what it feels like to get on the internet and you just want to not accept what happened. You want to forget about what happened. However, but when you're traumatized, you can fall into the wrong hands. And that happened to me. I fell into the wrong hands, which caused more trauma. So that's why I do this, because I don't want you guys to suffer. I want to bring awareness. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are not defined by your trauma. Okay? And then last thing, you're going to restore your self-worth. You're using self-affirmation exercises such as reciting positive affirmations. And the main reason why I put affirmations on, because I have to read affirmations every day. I have an app. It's called the I Am app. And it gives me affirmations. It sends affirmations to my phone. That's why I do. I was like, I am going to include affirmations in my live when I do my YouTube videos, because guess what? That has helped me. And so more information in that as I end this, if you want more information on CPTSD, you can go to CPTSD Foundation.org. And the information that I'm going to share with you guys today is, when God created me, he created greatness. Can I say that one more time? When God created me, he created greatness, y'all. He looked at me. He was like, I got you. He knew the hairs of my head. He said, you are unique. You are special. And can't nobody do nothing about it. Can't nobody say nothing about it. And guess what? Just the way God feels this way about me, he feels about you. So, with that being said, let's get into some makeup. Boop, boop, boop. So, as you guys know, if you don't know, I have my makeup routine. I'm down to one primer. So, I already did my skincare. So, here I go. If I look away, that means I'm looking at my camera. And you may see some peels of primer, because it's a stick primer from Mented. Guess what? That's okay. So, whew, yes, that rejection trauma, y'all. Yep, it's real. So, as I get ready, this is my first setup, so I'm going to do it messy as I'm walking through this, doing this journey of YouTube. I'm gonna keep doing. Someone said, do it dirty and clean it up as you go. So that's what I'm doing. It's like cooking. When you cooking dinner, you clean up as you go. So I am going to do my eyes. Yes, I am. Whew. And look, y'all, I forgot some, but that's okay. I'm gonna do my eyes. Normally I bring, I didn't bring my child. It's okay. I'm going to emphasize. So I put this on. It's time for me to do my eyes, and I will use this here. And Mented, this is called Hustler. I'm just gonna add a little on my hand. Love this foundation. I talked about it last week, and I like it. So I need to go get my eyebrows done. So today I'm going live on my platform, Sexual Assault Safe Space, and talk about rejection trauma. So just in case, if you do not have Instagram, what I talked about today, that's what I'm going to be talking about on my live. So I feel the importance of, then I'm going to put on my eye primer, the importance of people knowing about rejection trauma is so important. I just be afraid of rejection, y'all. Yes, I did. I used to be afraid of rejection because of my trauma, my CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Look, y'all, when my therapist told me that I was like, huh? And he explained it this way to me. He said, it's like, I need a little more. It's like if you were a soldier and the soldier has PTSD and they fought in several wars, then it's complex because it happened over and over and over again. They suffered trauma over and over and over again. So if there's any veterans or someone serving, thank you for your service. Thank you. I am a Army mom, proud Army mom for life. So yeah, I did on Facebook a couple of years ago. I did a series about trauma and sexual assault in the Army. So I'll talk about that one day on my channel because it's much needed to be talked about. And I have a friend who served in the service and was sexually assaulted. So it happens, y'all. It happens. And yeah, it does happen. I got my Viziart, and I'm going to use this. And my son and my daughter and myself, we're going to eat. We're going to spend some time together. The importance of family and spending time with your family is so important. And by the way, this is Sonia G's new set. So if you hear my son calling me, I'm recording. So I do apologize. I want to let him know that I'm recording. Okay, so let's add a little more. All right. Here we go. Alrighty. Now, y'all. Oh, look. I am not trying to be perfect. Now, I'm going to use this mothership. It's one of the Christmas ones. I think it's last Christmas. So I have not used it in a while. And guess what? I'm not trying to buy I bought one more palette. Yes, I did. And the reason behind the palette is I wanted a all matte palette from Pat McGrath, and she has one. So I got that one, but I like palettes, like all matte palettes to complement different palettes that I have. So as I'm doing this, ooh. Okay. So my son and my daughter, we are going out to spend some time together. We are going to just spend time together as a family, which is so important. So important. Another way to deal with tips for rejection trauma. Spend time with family and loved ones who accept you. You know, who accept you, accept if you told your family and friends what happened, who just accept you for your flaws, for your imperfections. I'm just gonna do simple look, nothing extravagant. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now I might need my little, I also have my little other brush because I like using different brushes. So, okay, here we go. Alrighty, here we go. Then I'm going to take what I want to do. I go with this color here. So I used this color right here. And so now I want to go with, I think I'll go with this one here. Just something simple. Ciao. Okay, just something simple to go over my eye. Let's see. Let me use my fingertips. Just okay. Nothing. Okay. Okay. Go here. Look. Yep, indeed. This nothing too bad. Okay, so we got that. Okay. Okay, got that. Now it's time for me to go under my eyes with the foundation, and this is Happy Hour by Minted. And this is what Happy Hour looks on me. Happy Hour. The first one is Hustle, and then this is Happy Hour. Well, Happy Hour underneath my eyes. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna let that dry down. And then I'm going to use CEO because I'm going for a simple, not too bright look. So I could have used Peak Performance, but I used CEO. Let's let it dry. Okay. Here we go. Yes, indeed. And let it dry. And guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to bring down my foundation. So guess what I'm gonna do, y'all? We about to see how Hourglass works for me as a foundation. Look, I like to think outside the box. So I could not. I forgot my foundation upstairs. So this is what we have to do in life. Sometimes we gotta adapt, pivot. Yes, we do. So let's see how this works. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, okay, bit it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's the way. Look, y'all. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Guess what? Oh, I guess I will be using Minted concealers as my foundation. And it's light, and I'm gonna do underneath my eyes. Okay. And let's put on here. Okay, trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. I think I'm gonna go in with another amount. I like mine's a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, Minted. All right. Then peak performance. Okay. Peak performance, and let it dry a little bit. Okay. Another layer. It's coming all together. Okay, make it. Okay. Okay. Okay, y'all. Here is your. Ooh. Okay, Minted. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna put some bronzer on. Yes, we are. My Minted bronzer. Yak Life. Okay. Okay. Okay, Minted. I like this as my foundation. Ooh. So that was not planned, y'all. Was not planned because number one, I thought I had brought everything down, which I didn't. Okay, it's okay. Not this one, because I played that one. Okay. All right, so let me get I'm using this as my eyeliner because I left my eyeliner up there too. Yeah. Okay. 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 Put some depth in this. Okay, some depth. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. And then just little brown here to even it out. Okay. Now I am going to do my brush. Wow, y'all. Okay, Mitted. Here we go. My favorite spray. Okay, here we go. Hold it together. Wow. And then while my face is drying, I can't find my mascara. I moved everything around, y'all, but it's okay. It is okay. I can't find my mascara. Oh, I found it. Be right back. I'm back, y'all. Y'all, I found my chapstick. Minted lip balm. Minted did not pay me for this, so just to let you know, this is not a sponsored video. I bought everything that I'm putting on my face with my money. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So if I can make a video and forgot my foundation, but look, y'all. Okay, Minted with your concealer. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, y'all. Okay, Minted. Okay. Okay, Minted. Ooh, ooh. Okay, Minted. Okay, I did my hair earlier. Time for to put my way on. All right. Put my earrings on. Earrings. And my earrings for today. I ain't gonna do my eyebrows because I don't want to. Okay, so this is my look. One lesson that I learned from this: sometimes things do not work out. Sometimes things is not supposed to be. And when we sit there and we look at it in a negative thing due to our rejection trauma, guess what? We think the worst. However, it can turn out to be the best. For example, I forgot my foundation upstairs. I had the Mented Concealer, which I was not planning on to use the concealer for my foundation look today. However, I pivot. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to think negative thoughts to myself. I'm not going to say, girl, why did you do that? I did not do that. But what I did was, okay, improvise, Karen. So what did I do? I say, you got this. You got this. Use your concealer. You got this. And I did. And I think, that's God. It's like, now this is my look. This is my look. I will be used in the outcome, the result. I will be using Mented Concealer as my foundation. Again, look at this, y'all. This is their concealer. This is like regular, this is nice. Look, this is nice, y'all. I am so glad that I made a mistake. It's okay. I'm not perfect, but guess what? When things happen and it's out of my control, and I'm not gonna beat myself up. No, I'm not. And I'm gonna get the notes. So I did not criticize myself, y'all. Look, I acknowledge that I made a mistake. I forgot, I was like, you know what? I let it go. I was like, what can I do? I used the concealer. I used the happy hour. Okay, Mented, y'all need to get some happy hour. And then I accepted, I didn't criticize myself for not doing it, for doing that. I was like, you know what can I do? I'm going to emphasize. I'm going to use the concealer as my foundation. I've seen others do it. And then I'm like, I'm worthy of making a mistake. I'm worthy of creating a look with just the concealer. So with that being said, you can go to CPTSD Foundation.org, and the affirmation for this week is, when God created me, he created greatness. When God created you, he created greatness. So everybody have an awesome blossom rest of the day, and I will see y'all next week. So take care. And thank you for joining. All right, bye-bye. Now I'm gonna get up and turn this off, y'all. I gotta figure out how to do that, and it's okay. Okay, it is okay. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay. Here we go, and it's okay. All righty. All right, y'all have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye. Look, y'all, before I go, look at this. Bam. Look at this. Love it. Bye-bye.